Okay, if you would like to try an art project inspired by Tap the Magic Tree, I'm going to give you some ideas. Tree art is some of my favorite to make and to look at, especially right now when we're all probably stuck inside a little more than usual. I love looking out my window at the trees, and when I do get out to take a run or a walk, I love looking at the trees. It kind of calms me down, and so does making art inspired by trees. So the tree in Tap the Magic Tree, I can show you, was made with a combination of watercolor and collage. I painted the wood part of the tree with watercolor, and then I used recycled tissue paper to make the leaves, and then I glued them on. So what you can do is make your own tree, and it most definitely does not need to look like the tree in Tap the Magic Tree. In fact, you can make any kind of tree you want, whatever your favorite tree is. I can show you some examples. Let's see that my kids made. This is just kind of a beautiful whimsical tree made with lots of different colors, and the tree is in watercolor, and the leaves are all different colors cut out of a magazine. And then here is one inspired by a red maple tree that's in our backyard, watercolor tree, and then leaves also cut out of a magazine. And then my littlest one made a willow tree, and she painted the tree in watercolor and then made leaves. And the kind of tree that I see outside my window right now is something called a lodgepole pine tree. And so I've been making that, and I painted the tree, the trunk of the tree in watercolor, and the leaves that I'm having to cut out are tiny little pine needles, which takes a really long time. So this is not done yet, but I can show you how I'm doing it. So I have a magazine page. I found a page in a magazine with lots of green and brown in it, and then I just cut a little snippet, just a little needle from here. It kind of falls out. And then if you're going to be gluing paper onto other paper, if you're going to be making a collage in that way, I recommend having a little scrap paper around that you can use as you're putting glue on, and then using a glue stick. That works best rather than liquid glue. And you just kind of rub the glue on the back, keep the cap on when you're done, and oh, this one's stuck. And then you pick it up and you just glue it on. Now, it's important to make sure that if you do a watercolor painting of a tree trunk and branches, you want to make sure that you let the watercolor dry all the way before you start collaging. So it can be a two-part project. You can paint the tree. I always like to do a light pencil sketch before I paint a tree, just so I have an idea where I'm going. But the good thing is, it doesn't matter if you make a mistake, because every tree is different, and you can put branches wherever you want. You can put leaves wherever you want. These are obviously much bigger in proportion than regular pine needles would be, but it still looks kind of cool. And these are the little pine cones. I cut those out of brown, and I can put them down here, rub a little glue on them, and paste that down as well. This is going to take me a long time to finish, but that's okay, because we might be inside for a long time. So I'm going to keep working on this, but you can make really any kind of tree you want. And if you don't want to use watercolor to make your tree, you can use crayon or colored pencil or markers or any other kind of paint you want. And I love finding old magazines to cut paper out of. You can also use construction paper, or you can use tissue paper, or you can use gift wrap. There are lots of other things you can use to make a collage. But I hope that you have fun making trees, and thank you so much for reading with me and doing art with me. Bye.